What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's video, we're basically going to focus on gusting. Now, I already created the tier list, and the tier list is kind of the same. It low-key remained the same, and we're basically going to put gusting in his respective tier in this video. Before I get started on the video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and also turn on post notification bell so that you guys can always stay tuned as I post new videos. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are new here on the channel, I have a Discord server, so if you guys are interested, you can join the server by going to my channel description. You see the server link there, and I'll also post a server link in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's head right on to the video. So we have the brand new character, SSR Plus character, Gusting. Now, overall, you guys already watched my video where I was testing him, and I would say overall, Gusting, he is a pretty solid unit. And if you are wondering whether or not you want to use this unit or not, you should definitely use him, especially if you're using purple units such as Kaseya, Joaquin, Kunaguro. If you're using a purple team, you definitely want to pick up Gusting because he is by far the best purple support in the game, because he can basically buff up attack, he can basically provide an AoE cleanse, and then on top of that, he can heal your team by a lot. And he is, I think he's like the only character in the game so far that has summoned allies, because like every character in the game, when they're using their special skills or when they're using active skills, they don't really summon an additional life form onto the battlefield. He basically summons these bots, and these bots, these patrol bots, they basically have their own HP. So he basically summons additional creatures on the battlefield, and he's like the first character in the game that can basically do that. So overall, I feel like Gusting, if I were to put him on a tier list, I would definitely put Gusting on S tier. And the reason why I put him in S tier, I put him like in #1 for S tier. Actually, I put him right next to Warren. Now, the reason why I put him in S tier is because he is not like Data Zahard, where for Data Zahard, you don't need any copies on Data Zahard, and like Evan, he's not that SSR Plus unit that's basically broken without copies. He's still good without copies, but you still need a decent amount of copies on Gusting in order for him to truly shine and in order for you to see how broken he is. But for units like Data Zahard and Evan, you literally don't need any copies on these characters, and Data Bashni as well. You don't need copies on these SSR Plus characters because they're just broken. They're broken without copies, and that's the main reason why they are in that S Plus tier. I forgot to change that. Let me go ahead and change this to S Plus. Okay, so that's the main reason why they belong in that S Plus tier, is because they require no copies. So Gusting, in order for him to be extremely broken, you need at least 3 green stars or 2 blue stars, because if you get 3 green stars on Data Gusting, you can basically get that additional attack, which can basically increase his healing. And then on top of that, if you get 3 blue stars, he can become a little bit more tanky against, I think, yellow element units. So overall, I feel like for Gusting, you definitely need a certain amount of copies of him in order for him to be truly busted. But even without copies, he is still S tier at most, because his survivability, yes, it can be a problem, but if you have the right equipment set on him, and if you put him in the right team, he can really do some serious healing to your team. And on top of that, he can provide an AoE cleanse, which is really, really clutch overall. So if you just put him in the right team and you basically just know how to use his character, and you put on the right stats on him, for example, if you have enough swiftness on him for him to spam his special skill, or you put a lot of evasion, his survivability will be absolutely amazing overall. So Gusting, definitely S tier. S tier with low investment, and S plus tier with a lot of investment. For example, 3 blue stars or 3 green stars. Now, talking about the rest of these characters, honestly, I feel like for this update, everybody's pretty much on the same tier. Hasn't been, any changes to these characters. I feel like everybody is still the same. I feel pretty much the same about, Vespa, Shanae, Wingman. I feel like for Vespa, she, like I said, I say this all the time, Vespa, she is an amazing unit against the Alliance boss. Basically, the boss, when you have, I think we have the Alliance boss in like a couple days, or yeah, I think it's in a couple days, but she is literally broken against the Alliance boss because she reduces the boss's swiftness by a ton. So she's a really awesome unit against bosses overall. But in terms of like, PvP and story, Vespa isn't really that good overall. But against bosses, she's definitely busted. So Vespa still remains in an A tier overall. Hopefully we have, a unit in the future that has a similar kit to Vespa, but they're pretty much good in story mode and also PvP at the same time. And talking about other units like Kun, I think, yeah, Kun Mashini. Now Kun Mashini, I feel like the reason why I put Kun Mashini in A tier is because Kun Mashini, I'll honestly say that she just got power crept. Like she got power crept by Joaquin, by Kasei. I just feel like there's just other units that are just way better than her overall. As a purple, like I feel like if you have a lot of DP, like if you have a lot of copies on her, she can be really good overall. But like I said, it's not really easy to get SSR plus copies. So I would rather you guys spend your time building up characters like Joaquin and Kasei instead of building characters like Kun Mashini. So that's the reason why Kun Mashini is an A tier, because she requires a lot of investment, and overall she's just not the best purple DPS unit overall, because you have better DPS characters like Joaquin. And for Narei, I feel like Narei, she's still a good beginner character overall. If you're just not starting the game, Narei, she would definitely be a good character to pick up. But there's still other units that are just way better than her in terms of like support, because we have better battery units such as Blanc. Blanc, she can basically provide 50 energy. We also have other units that can provide a lot of energy as well. So I feel like overall, Narei, she got power crept by other units, and hopefully later on in the future, we have units that have basically the similar kit as hers, because she can provide a good amount of energy. But units like Bomb and Gusting, like I just feel like those units overall, they just really better because they provide a good amount of healing to your team. They provide energy, attack buff as well. It's just better overall. And for Rack and this tank character right here, I feel like these two characters, they're just never gonna go up in the tier list. I don't like Rack. Rack is not bad for early game phase, but for late game phase, terrible. And this guy right here, he's bad as well because it takes him forever to basically proc that shield. So these two units, they're pretty much in that C tier for sure. And of course, this guy right here, I keep forgetting his name. This guy, he's not bad. He's good against bosses, especially against Quant and Mock Battle. But overall, in terms of like, PvP, PvE, he's still kind of bad because his survivability is just terrible. And Yuri's a decent unit overall. She can do some good damage. But there's just other there's just other units that are just way better than her. For example, Shanae, Rachel, Yeon, they're just way better than Yuri. And it all comes down to, these characters basically power creeping the previous characters we've had in the game. That's all it comes down to. Like, these characters, they basically got power crept. So that's pretty much my take on this tier list. This wasn't a really, huge update. We were just basically adding Gusting in the tier list, and I feel like overall Gusting, he's a pretty solid unit. And for sure, the more copies you get on this character, the better he'll become. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and put your thoughts down below in the comment section of what you guys think overall. I appreciate you all for watching this video, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.